Good morning, 7th graders. Today we have lesson 7. Our title for today's lesson is Complex Sentences. Yesterday, you guys remember we learned about our simple sentences and our compound sentences and how we can identify those. Today we are reviewing what are complex sentences, all right? A complex sentence consists of one independent clause and one or more dependent clauses. Remember, a dependent clause is introduced by what? If you look in your book, yes, remember our dependent clauses are introduced by our relative pronoun and our subordinating conjunction, all right? So, a complex sentence will always have a relative pronoun or subordinating conjunction in it. It will always have a clause that is depending upon our independent clause, all right? So if we look at their first example sentence, they have gold miners who needed sturdy clothing. So there's our dependent clause. It's introduced by the relative pronoun who. Inspired Levi Strauss's invention of denim jeans. All right, so gold miners inspired Levi Strauss's invention of denim jeans. That's our independent clause. It can stand on its own. It makes sense. Our sentence that our clause that is depending upon that sentence is who needed sturdy clothing. It doesn't make sense on its own, right? It's describing our gold miners. If we jump down to the next one, it says Strauss dyed the denim in indigo blue so it would not show stains easily. All right, look at their independent clause. Strauss dyed the denim in indigo blue. It can stand on its own, right? But if we look at the subordinated conjunction so, then it says so it would not show stains easily, all right? So we have a dependent clause that is depending upon our independent clause of our sentence. I'm saying independent and dependent a lot right now. Hopefully I'm not getting you guys confused. So for numbers 1 through 3, all you're doing is bracketing the dependent clauses and underlining the independent clauses, all right? So you're going to put a bracket around, hold on one second, a bracket around your dependent clause. So your relative pronoun or your subordinated conjunction has to introduce your dependent clause. So you're going to put brackets around that, and then you're going to underline your independent clause in numbers 1 through 3. Jumping down to the next paragraph, it says, to determine whether a sentence is compound or complex, look carefully at the clauses and the subject-verb patterns in the sentence. Bracket any dependent clauses, all right? So if we see our relative pronoun or subordinating conjunction that introduces our dependent clause, just go ahead and put a bracket around that, and then we know if it says, does the sentence contain dependent clauses? If it does, it must be complex. Remember, a complex sentence has one independent clause and one or more dependent, all right? So that's why it's complex. You guys know what the word complex means? Complex means it's made up of different parts, kind of, or it's complex. And so our complex sentence is made up of two different things. It has an independent clause and a dependent clause. Two different things that make up our complex sentence, all right? Flip to the next page, number 24. It says if the sentence has no dependent clause but has two independent clauses, this is what we learned about in yesterday's lesson. It is a compound sentence, all right? So for numbers 4 through 8, you're going to bracket any dependent clauses and identify each sentence as compound or complex. I'm going to go ahead and do 3 examples of that up here on the board. So the first thing we need to do is bracket any independent clauses. Because of the pending rain, we canceled the picnic. What is because? Because is our subordinating conjunction, correct? So we have to put brackets around this. So do we have a dependent clause? We have a dependent clause and we have an independent clause. We canceled the picnic. So we know that this is going to be, I'm not sure if you can see that. You see that? A complex sentence, right? What about this one? We wanted to attend the meeting because a new chairman was getting elected. What about that? Would there be any dependent clause that we would put brackets around? Same one, right? Because would be our subordinating conjunction. We could say we wanted to attend the meeting. That makes sense on its own. We wanted to attend the meeting because a new chairman was getting elected, that wouldn't make sense. If we would just say because a new chairman is getting elected. Okay. All right, so that means this is going to be a complex sentence, all right? Because we have our independent and dependent clause. The last one, the students hiked up the mountain. Later, they had a campfire. What about that? Do you see any relative pronoun or subordinating conjunction in that sentence? No, all right? So we know the students hiked up the mountain. Later, they had a campfire, all right? So here's our two subject-verb patterns. So we know that it is going to be a compound sentence, all right? So that's what you're going to be doing in numbers 1, 4 through 8, and then don't forget to go back through those and underline your verbs twice and your subject once. And also, you guys are going to be diagramming your complex sentences, and I'm pretty sure you guys remember how to do those. So, last 2 lessons have been kind of a review. I just want to make sure we know where we were at, all right? That is all for today's lesson. I hope you guys have a fabulous day, and today is Wednesday. So, no. Today is Thursday. Never mind. I'm losing my mind. See you guys.